Good morning. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. That's Psalm 118:24. Today is Thursday, January 28th. Today we have a beautiful blanket of snow covering our little corner of the world. It's a welcome relief from the abundance of clouds and rain that we have had all this winter. Today we're going to look at a few verses of comfort that are loaded with meaning and doctrine. We're going to examine these verses over the next few days. Hopefully, it will give us some insight into dealing with trouble and hardship. Please think about this as we read. These are the words of Jesus to those who are troubled. He gives us a way to deal with today's trouble by believing in Him and looking forward to a place prepared just for us in heaven. That's a thought that we lose today oftentimes. It's where we're going, our blessed hope, that gives us encouragement for today. We're reading John 14, verses 1 through 6. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. Those are dwelling places, tabernacles, tents. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. That's a spot, a unique spot. And if I go, now that's that word that seems to be conditional, but it's an assumption that you've already believed. And since I go, that's Jesus, and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And where I go you know, and the way you know. Thomas said to him, Lord, we do not know where you're going, and how can we know the way? Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Now that's Jesus talking, and he's talking about coming through himself. So let's try to apply this. Number one, it is not God's will that you live in a troubled soul or with a troubled soul. That's being emotionally upset or discouraged all the time. That's a troubled soul. Or a troubled spirit. That's a dead spirit, a spirit without Christ, or a born-again spirit that is without close fellowship. It's not God's will. Jesus said to believe in God, you must also believe in Him. We know that access to the throne of grace comes through Jesus Christ. He's the mediator between God and man. Secondly, the Father's house is heaven, and Jesus is preparing a spot, a place just for you. The King James Version mentions many mansions. Some people get hung up with that word. That's a word that means dwelling place, tent, tabernacle, or room. It's a place that will fit you perfectly. It's a spot Jesus is preparing for each believer. Thirdly, Jesus will return at death. That's His angels coming to get you, or in the rapture to bring His bride, the church, to heaven. The suffering we experience in this world is nothing to be compared to the glory to come. Oh, what glory that will be. What a day that will be. Today is Thursday, January 28th. Love God, love people. Love never, ever fails.